Hi, welcome to my video on ratios and proportions. This is practice 1, just a review of ratio and proportions. Number 1, write 2/3 as a ratio in two different forms. So 2/3 could be 2 to 3 as one form, or it could be 2 to 3. There's two ways to write a ratio. A container has 30 cars and 10 trucks. What is the ratio of trucks to the total number of vehicles? So you got 30 cars and you have 10 trucks. That's a total of 40 vehicles. So what's the ratio of the trucks, which is 10, to the total number of vehicles is 40. So if you cancel the zeros, you get 1/4. And 1/4, think of 1/4 as a quarter of a dollar, and that's 25 cents. Another way to think about it is to multiply by 25 and 25 top and bottom, and we get 25 over 100. And 25 over 100 is a percent. So, but we don't need a percent, we just need the ratio is 1/4. So that's the answer right there. But I was going on to change it to 2%, but I didn't have to. Just doing that. So the answer, what's the ratio? Is 1:4 reduce. Change 1.8 to 6 as a percent. So 1.8 to 6 as a percent. So we have one decimal place, so we multiply the numerator by 10 to get 18. We multiply the denominator by 10 to get 60, so we have no decimals. So it looks like a 6 will go into 18 3 times, 6 will go into 60 10. So that's a ratio, and we got to change it to percent. So 3/10, we multiply by 10 over 10. That gives us 30 over 100, and 30 over 100 is 30%. So this time I have a ratio. Now I change it to percent. So up here I didn't have to go to 25%, I just had to go to 1/4. Number 4, the product of two numbers is 40. Product means multiply. If one of the numbers is 5, what's the ratio of the larger number to the product as a percent? So we have 5 times some number is 40. So that number is 40 divided by 5. So 8 times 5 is 40. So the larger number, so we have two numbers, one is 8, one is 5, so the larger number is 8. So what's the ratio of the larger number to the product, which is 40? So 8 over 40 is 8 into 8 goes once, 8 into 40 goes 5. So that's the ratio, but we want it as a percent. So we multiply by 20 over 20. That gives us out of 100, so that's 20 over 100. And 20 over 100 is 20%. Again, we could take the 1/5 and change it to a decimal. And 1/5 is 2 out of 10. And 2 out of 10 is decimal 2. And decimal 2, move your decimal 2 places to the right and you get your 20%. There's another way to do it. So there's many ways to do a question. Find the ratio of each. 20 seconds to 2 minutes. They got to be in the same units. So 20 seconds to 2 minutes. There's 60 seconds in a minute. So that's 20 seconds to 120 seconds. So the ratio is 20 over 120. Cancel the zeros. 2 into 2 goes once. 2 into 12 goes 6. So the ratio is 1/6. 15 millimeters to 3.6 centimeters. So again, they got to be the same units, and it makes no difference if I change it to millimeters or centimeters. So we have 15 millimeters, and 3.6 centimeters. There's 10 millimeters in a centimeter, so that's 36 millimeters. So the ratio is 15 over 36. 3 goes into 15/5, 3 goes into 36/12. So you have 5/12 as a ratio. Express as a ratio. express the ratio as a fraction. So we have a fraction here, so let's make 18% a fraction. So 18% is 18 out of 100. 2 3/5. So that means we have 18 over 100. 2 3/5. So that's 18 over 100 times 5 over 3. When we divide, we multiply by the reciprocal. Now, 3 into 3 once, 3 into 18, 6, 5 into 5 once, and that's 20. And we got 6 is even, so 2 into 6 goes 3, 2 into 20 goes 10. So as a fraction, that becomes 3 over 10. So I changed the percent to a fraction because it says fractions, and I wrote it as a one number over another as a ratio, and then I multiplied by the reciprocal. So just extra practice. Which ratio is not equivalent, make that an I there, is not equivalent to 1/3. So 6 to 18 is 6 over 18. 6 into 6 goes 1, 6 into 18 goes 3. That one's equivalent. We have 13 to 39. 13 to 13 goes once, 13 to 13 goes 3. So that one's okay. And we have 10 to 15. 5 into 10 goes 2, 5 into 15 goes 3. So which one is not equivalent? C. These two are 1/3, this is 2/3. Write the unit ratio for each. The unit ratio, so you have $40 and you have 25 liters. So if you take a calculator and divide 40, divide 25 into 40, you will get $1.60, and that's $1.60. This is liters, so this is per liter. That's the unit ratio. Again, I could do the long division, and 25 into $40, decimals here, so move it up. So you get 25 into 4 can't go, 25 into 40 goes once. That gives you 15, and that's 40, that's a 0 there. So that's, so 25 into 150 is 6. So that's 150. And keep going. We get $1.60. So the unit ratio is $1.60 per liter. That's what you're paying. And what's the unit ratio of miles to hours? So we have 306 miles, and you do that in 6 hours. So 306 divided by 6, 30 divided by 6 is 5, 6 divided by 6 is 1. So the unit ratio is 51 miles per hour. Number 9, which one is the better value? So we pay $48.12 for 4 kiloliters of steak. We pay $60.25 for 5 kiloliters of steak. Which is the better value? So the better value is per unit value. So if you take the 48.12 and divide it by 4, that will give you 12.03, and that's 12.03 per kilo. And again, you take the $60.25 and divide it by 5 kilos, and 5 into 60 goes 12, 5 into 25 goes 5. So if you use your calculator, I just use my head, I get $12.05 a kilo. So the better value, the better deal would be the lower price. So $12.03 a kilo is better than paying $12.05. So this is the better value here for a kilo of steak. Number 10, change 180 feet per hour to yards per hour. So we have 180 feet per hour, and we want to change it to yards. So that means that yards got to go on top. So we have there's 3 feet in 1 yard, so 1 yard has 3 feet. So notice that we could have 3 feet over 1 yard, or 1 yard over 3 feet. But because feet is on the top here, I need feet on the bottom, so feet can cancel out. So that gives us 3 into 180 is 60. So 60 yards per hour. So again, 3 into 180 goes 60. B, we have 2 liters per second as the flow rate of water flowing, and this is, we want to change it to liters per minute. So 2 liters per second, and liters is not changing, we're changing the time. So there's 60 seconds in a minute. So because we have seconds here, so let's put 60 seconds, 1 minute. And the reason we put, it could be 1 minute. It could be 1 minute over 60 seconds, or 60 seconds over 1 minute. That's the ratio. But because seconds is on the bottom, I have to have seconds on the top here to cancel out. So seconds cancels out, and we multiply. 60 times 2 is 120 liters per minute. So when you're converting, whatever you have on the top, you have to have on the bottom here to cancel out. And this one will illustrate this even better. So I have 40 meters per hour, and I want to change it to centimeters per second. So I have meters. So that means if meters is on top here, I have to have it on the bottom. So 1 meter is 100 centimeters. And the reason I put meters, so it could be 1 over 100 or 100 over 1. Because meters is on the top, I'll put meters on the bottom here and cancel it out. Now I got hours on the bottom here. I have to cancel out on seconds. So there's 60 seconds in 1 minute, and there's 60 seconds in 1 minute, and there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So that gives us 3,600 seconds in an hour. So 1 hour again. Because hour is on the bottom, I'll put hours on the top. So 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. Again, the hour is on the bottom, so I need hours on the top. Meters is on the top, I need meters on the bottom. So that's the conversion ratios. So let's cancel. So meters cancels, the hours cancel. So you can see I'm left with centimeters per second, which is what I want. The 100 cancels once. Right here is 36. So I have 40 over 36. I could have canceled. So that's the same as, divide by 4 is same as 10 over 9 centimeters per second. So it's 10 over 9 centimeters per second, or you could go 1 1/9 centimeters per second. So that's how I do the conversion. Number 11, express 2 cola 10 and 6 cola 20 as A over B equals C over D, which is proportion. So 3 cola 10 is the same as 3 over 10. And 6 cola 20 is 6 over 20. So that's a proportion. Solve each for x. So when you this is proportion, so you cross multiply. So you solve this one. So it's 2 times x equals this one. 8 times 5. So 2 times x equals 40. Divide by 2. X equals 20. And 20 over, we got a 20, just check. 20 over 8. Divide by 2, you get 10 over 4. Divide by 2, you get 5 over 2. That's right. Now we have 10 over 9 is x over 3. So it makes no difference how I multiply, but I'll be consistent. I'll multiply this one first. So I get 10 times 3 equals 9 times x. So multiply this one first and this one second. And it really makes no difference if you multiply this one first or this one second. But anyway, we have 30 equals 9x. So what number times 9 gives you 30? So you divide by 9. So x is 30 over 9, which means that's a fraction. So 3 9s are 27 and 3 9s, which is 3 1/3. X is 3 1/3. I could have reduced 30 over 9, could have been divided by 3, 10 over 3, and I could have divided 3 into 10, I got 1 1/3. So I either divide and reduce the 3 9s, or reduce it first and then divide. Number 13, if 5 apples cost $4.35, find the cost of 8 apples. Well, we can do a proportion here. So 5 apples cost $4.35. Find the cost of 8 apples. So 8 apples cost X amount. So you can set it up as a proportion. So we're trying to find cost. This is apples to dollars, the number of apples to dollars. So cross multiply. 5 times X equals 8 times $4.35. So 5x. So 8 times 430 gives us 34.80, and divide by 5, and 5 into 34.80, you can do it with a calculator. You get $6.96, or you can do with your pencil, which I prefer a lot of times. But so the decimal's here, so we move the decimal up. So 5 6s are 30. Subtract, you get a 4, bring down your 8. 5 9s are 45. Subtract, and you get a 3, bring down your 0. 5 into 30 goes 6. So now that's one way to do it with a proportion. Another way that a lot of teachers do is that if 5 apples, what's this way? This is the way I was taught when I was in lower grades many years ago. 5 apples cost $4.35. Then we went and said 1 apple costs $4.35 divided by 5. And that came out to be decimal 87. And then we said 8 apples would be 8 times 0.87, which is $6.96. So that's another way to do it. Again, do it with a proportion like this, or 5 apples cost this, 1 apple costs, divide by 5, and then 8 apples is 8 times, because this is a unit. So 1 apple costs this, then 8 apples cost 8 times that. Just another way to do it, but it will be your choice. So that brings us to the end of the review on ratios and proportions. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you do, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content of a YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained, just one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.